Joining us now for our Partner Showtime. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. So what is one way, which I feel like Fintan just shared many ways that we're helping, but can you explain a little bit how InMarket and Snapchat are partnering?
Yeah, so we started the partnership a few years back. Started off with really a focus on retail and dining and measuring the lift for visitation as well as retail sales. And it's been a phenomenal kind of growth over the last few years. We've expanded into auto. I think last year we did a press release around the release of LCI for auto. Yeah. So we were helping solve a challenge for Snap where ultimately wanted to help grow that channel for them, that vertical. Um, and the most recent release is LCI for CPG. And so that's been being tested with the Snap teams. The CPG vertical has been growing well. And so we're very excited about, all of the expansions that we've seen and where we're going to go from here.
Yeah, and you mentioned it a couple times around the crucial part of measuring success. What are some broader ways that Snapchat is leveraging these advanced measurement capabilities?
Yeah, well, look, like modern measurement is triangulation, especially post ATT, right? And so you've got to triangulate around where the real business impact is, right? And that's where offline measurement is really key, especially for the verticals that you mentioned, where the sale is not happening on .com for the most part, right? And I think many of our ad platforms will be set up to really measure .com perfectly well using Pixel, Cappy, and various sort of third-party measurement solutions. But when it comes to the offline impact, that's where we need partners like InMarket in the market, because we don't have the full closed loop of everything that's going on. Obviously, with the retailer, they're unwilling to share. So I think providing the ability for our CPG auto teams, or many verticals actually, where the transaction's happening in a physical environment, is really critical to drive success. And you want to be, ultimately, we're in the business of showing, like, moving products in stores or shifting cars off lots. Like, that's our business that we want to drive. We know there's impact, and now with this partnership, we're able to measure it in the right way and really prove that value to the customer.
When it comes to sales lift, have you seen a growing desire or need to measure sales lift?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's many ways that you can get at that problem, and there's many partners that are going at it. But ultimately, sales lift is the foundation for CPG digital or measurement for digital ad platforms in CPG. So we're certainly seeing that trend towards being able to not just measure visitation, but also sales lift, right? Sales lift is critical. And I think for any big campaign that a CPG is running, especially in this macro environment, you have to be able to prove in any campaign that you're driving impact in terms of sales. And so I see it like the macro is actually driving the intent more than anything else.
Yeah, that's so true. And you mentioned, so for CPG, would you say that sales lift is the KPI that deserves more attention?
Yes, I mean, ultimately, like, as I said, it's a triangulation exercise. In CPG, generally, they're looking at cost-efficient clicks. That's the new sort of paradigm. It used to be cost-efficient impressions or reach. Now it's cost-efficient clicks. So they're looking for that click intent in terms of like the platform reporting. And then obviously post-campaign, we're able to run the sales lift or visitation lift. And then, they're always running an MMM at the background to like make sure that the top line media allocation across all channels is a priority. But, there's always a triangulation exercise, because you've got to be able to react in the moment when a campaign is running on clicks or low cost clicks. And then you've got to be able to see the impact to your leader when you're reporting back as a client. And then you want to make sure that the allocation based on those results is correct in the MLM. So that's what we generally see as a platform in terms of like how modern CPGs are measuring the ecosystem.
Yeah, and Patrick, you mentioned that we recently just launched CPG sales lift and support for Snap. But what are some other unique ways that InMarket is helping to enable?
I think one of the more exciting ones was the helping with the launch of promoted places. So Snap, with their promoted places launch, needed to prove out, really, does this work? Is this effective? I think we all understood that this is a massive opportunity for Snap and for advertisers to really put their brands out there in a format that is going to be relevant to the people that they're advertising to, give them an opportunity to buy and see these brands up close and personal as they're trying to find their friends and engage with this social map. So we were part of the initial beta testing with promoted places and identifying how efficient, how effective, and performative the promoted places format was for these advertisers within Snap. We saw a lot of success, and we were really excited to be a part of that. And I think with this launch, we're happy to continue that success.
Yeah, so it's material visitation lift, which is what we want, right? That's what exactly. And in partnership, we're able to prove that for a new product in the market, it's driving visitation lift. That's exactly what we want to be in the business of doing. We know that the map is a rich surface. We understand that our users love the map and want to see what's going on in the world around them. So be able to close the loop on the campaign measurement is sort of really key. And obviously we focus on food and dining, but I think there's just so much opportunity across the board for this product.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you can tease of how this product is going to be expanding?
I think we're making some nice iterations on the consumer side of the product. So we now have like for any place on the map, you can see where you are in the loyalty score. Like are you visiting more than your friends? We're trying to like add some gamification to make it more fun. You know, when you land in a place like Miami, I can see what percentage of Miami I've visited. Other things on the map, which I love on the consumer side, are like you can see restaurants that your friends have been to. So that's a real advantage of having that social layers. Like you don't need to go and ask. So I think more of like the stickiness of the product and how fun it is for our users to use, and that in turn will create a really fun, playful surface for advertising. And what we know is that when users are happy and they're using platforms like us, like 91% of Snapchatters are happy when they're using the app. That is a really positive place for advertising to have impact as well.
Yeah, it's functional and it's fun and engaging, and you get to connect with your friends and meet new people too, and discover new places and products. So
That's right.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Fintan, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Patrick, thanks for joining as well.
It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all for tuning in.